We can come back to the table on Good Morning Football. We have our special friend, Ryan Leaf, is in studio with us. And whenever you're here, we're asking you about quarterbacks, and now it's the time of the year. We want to talk about the draft, the combine, all of those things. 43 days away from the draft. Carolina's already jumped up to that one spot. Ryan, who are they taking?
I think they're taking C.J. Stroud. If I were them, that's who I would be taking. He's the most pro-ready quarterback right now, I think. And if you're looking for one thing to differentiate between him and Bryce Young, it's the size. And you don't like to use the size in it, but he would be the outlier. He would be the only one, right? And that takes a lot, but maybe he is the only one. So I think that they like C.J. Stroud, and that's who goes one, and probably Bryce Young too.
Well, the 2 pick. All right, so it's interesting. You were number 2 pick. I'm looking now at the Texans. They have the number 2 pick. And it's a great pick, but it's got to be in a way like a little bit of a frustrating one because you don't have carte blanche. What do you do strategy-wise for them? Who do you like? And, how do you prepare for the scenarios at the 2 pick?
Well, a couple guys I've been talking with at the Texans, they've always liked Bryce Young ahead of everybody. So it may work out exactly how they wanted it to because I don't think they were all in on C.J. Stroud, where I do think Carolina is, some of the guys I've talked to. So I think they'll be pretty happy. Now, my only fear was, if you were Texan fans out there, that they would go get Jimmy Garoppolo before the Raiders did. And then they may do something different and trade down and do something different. But now that they're set at 2, we know that there are going to be 2 quarterbacks taken in the 1st and 2nd pick.
Can I ask you this? Let's say that it goes like you say, and Stroud goes 1, and then Bryce Young's number 2. You can speak to this. Does Bryce Young then carry something with him about they passed over me, they could have had me, why am I the 2nd favorite player in their draft? How does that affect him psychologically?
Well, it depends on what him and his agents are talking about. In my instance, we didn't want to go to Indianapolis. Right? I like the idea of going to the beach and the babes and the money and everything. I was like,
yeah.
And I came from the West Coast. I was like, don't send me to Indianapolis.
You didn't want to be the number 1 pick?
Oh, I didn't care. We were 1A and 1B in my eyes.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the way I would sell that to Bryce Young if I was his agent. I'm like, this is a great opportunity for you. You are 1A and 1B. And it showed in our contracts. Peyton and I's contract were literally like $100,000 difference. So it wasn't, and that's how our agents proceeded with ownership in terms of hey, this was 1A and 1B. This wasn't number 1 overall pick.
That's cool. Okay. I didn't know that.
There's a number that blows my mind. There were 68 different starting quarterbacks last season. 68, that's insane to me. That is a new record for a non-strike NFL season. And it seems that teams are bolstering their quarterback rooms to have more depth, clearly. What do you make of this philosophy?
Well, to your point, there were 68. It's the most since a non-strike year of quarterbacks getting on the football field. So you need to have depth in that. And it turns out the team that was probably the best in the NFC at the end of the year just didn't have enough quarterbacks in the room to get on the field. And so you need to bolster that. And I love the Andy Dalton signing. I love the Sam Darnold signing in San Francisco. Just different ways. Jameis Winston staying in New Orleans. You are bolstering a room that you're most likely going to need. Mike White to Miami. It was really fun. We were playing golf on Monday, me and Mike, and I saw him get the call when it was happening because he told me the day before, I'm not staying in New York. And so he was hoping Tampa was going to call because he lives in Tampa, but Florida down just a little bit south, and I think that's a good spot because we know Tua's only played 71% of his snaps a year ago. Mike will probably see the field. He's capable of winning games, and so I like what teams are doing. They're willing to spend the money, and I think they're getting them relatively cheaply for the cap percentage, and it allows them to do more when someone gets hurt. Let's just say a guy goes down for 1 or 2 games. You got to have that backup that can get you through that, especially if you were a very good football team and you have a chance to go to the playoffs. So I like what they're doing.
The Broncos jumped at Jared Stidham to back up Russ. It's kind of in the same vein. We've already talked about Bryce Young. We've talked about C.J. Stroud a little bit. There's Will Levis. There's Anthony Richardson. But there's another quarterback you really like that is not being put in that group of 4, the guy from Tennessee.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker, for me, he was as special as anybody last year at the collegiate level. 2 interceptions, that's it, the whole year in the SEC conference. If he doesn't blow his knee out, he's in the conversation with these 4 other guys for a top 10 pick. He really is. But because he isn't, because he hurt it so late in the year, the rehab coming, he probably is going to slide. And there's going to be a team in the 2nd or 3rd round. And watch out if there's a team that understands that and moves up to maybe at the top of the first or the back end of the 1st round, similar to what Baltimore did for Lamar Jackson a few years back, to get that 5th-year option. Because also, if you send him to a place where you have an established quarterback, you can use the ACL thing all year long. Like if the season is a struggle and people are clamoring for the rookie to get in, well, we can't.
He's not ready.
He's not ready. He's not ready yet. And he can develop and he can learn. So I really like him. Big, physical, accurate. won big games this year. So I do. I really like Hendon Hooker. And whoever gets him is going to get a heck of a quarterback.
Yeah, I hear you say big and physical. Anthony Richardson, I mean, everybody's enamored with him, the combine, everything that he's done, electric. What do you think of his game and where he may end up going?
He is. He has all those. I'll tell you what. And maybe we'll do this next year around combine time because we were here, right? Let's just, if we went and did my measurables for the combine, things that I could do well still. My hand size would be great. My height, my weight. I can still jump out of the gym, right? So my vertical would be really good.
Right now.
Yeah, I can bench press. Probably my vertical probably would be in the mid-30s.
This sounds like a segment, Ryan. We'll do it.
Yeah. No, I've been clamoring for people to do this for me because I'm like, and then we'll do a blind taste test, right? You'll just put up my statistics against one of the guys that's, and they'll go, which quarterback would you take? And they're like, oh, that one. I'm like, well, you just got Ryan Leaf. And they're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? So yeah, the measurables part they are what they are, right? The film doesn't match. It just doesn't match over time. You can pull some things out of there. And so there isn't a lot of guys that I've talked to that necessarily have a first-round grade on him, but he's going to get drafted in the first round. And I don't think you're doing him any favors. With him and Will Levis, I don't believe for a second you're doing them any favors by drafting them in the first round because of the expectations that come with that. But it's going to happen. You don't have a say. Like, if I would understand my mentality and my psychological mindset, I would have gone where Brian Griese did in round 2 to the Denver Broncos and sat behind John Elway.
Understood.
But I also was so competitive that I had to play and wanted to play immediately. So when I did get the job, it was one of those goals that I had checked off again. I'm going to start as a rookie. Well, somebody's got to protect, a guy that's got the emotional maturity of a 13-year-old at the time, right? It's hard, and I think people are learning that more and more, but the fan bases and the pressure from organizations to play the young guys and the pressure that comes with being a first-round draft pick is incredibly overwhelming.